over her.
Could you tell she's calling 911?
Yeah, but she said it was an accident.
This is David Carrillo, caught off guard, moments after realizing he'd been outsmarted by his high school ex, Jennifer Cruz, the same woman he thought he could still torment. But in a final act of resistance, she hit 911 and let the open line capture every breath of the violence he was inflicting.
Now, what is your problem?
David Carrillo had stormed into Jennifer's home and gunned down both her and her new boyfriend, Albert Martinez. But when the police brought him in, he suddenly became the very personification of shock, grief, and denial, pretending he was the victim, not the killer.
We went to her house today and early this morning, and she was found deceased in her house.
The deeper detectives dug, the more David's story unraveled, but nothing could have prepared them for what came next. It was a revelation so horrific that it sent shockwaves throughout the investigation. On April 19, 2015, in Lubbock, Texas, Jennifer Cruz made a haunting 911 call. Minutes later, police arrived at a grisly scene. Both Jennifer and Albert Martinez were found dead. But the real trail began outside, where surveillance cameras caught a familiar car pulling into the neighborhood. Investigators chased it back to David Carrillo. Traffic cams confirmed the plates and cell towers had pinned his phone a few blocks from the scene during the murders. Without wasting time any further, David Carrillo was brought in for questioning. The interrogation that follows next paints a vicious picture of a desperate man clinging to the illusion of innocence.
We do want to talk to you about Jennifer. We went to her house today and early this morning, and she was found deceased in her house.
No.
Yes, and that's why you're here. We need to talk to you.
That's not true.
Give you that information.
No. What?
And we just kind of want to talk to you about, y'all's relationship, how long you've known her. You're not in custody. You're not under arrest or anything. You don't have any warrants or anything. Since we are usually we talk to the person closest to them. I do need to read you some information for us to continue talking, okay? And I know you probably need some time to kind of process it. Because I know you're probably going to want to know some information, and we can give you some information, and then you maybe help us with this case, okay? Do you understand? And we'll just go through some history with you, okay? Let's get through this so we can get through some more, okay? Get some more, maybe we can figure out some of them. Maybe you can answer some questions for us about what was going on in her life, okay?
When detectives reveal the news of Jennifer's death, his reaction is disturbingly detached. It isn't grief. It isn't shock. Rather, it's something far more unsettling. Throughout their careers, detectives have seen their fair share of cold and calculative suspects, but David Carrillo proves to be an anomaly. To figure out what really drove him to commit something so devastating, they rewind back to his high school years with Jennifer Cruz. They're confident that the truth behind this double murder isn't going to be at the crime scene. Rather, it's buried in their past. And now, it's clawing its way back to the surface.
Let's kind of go through, you said you've known her all your life, right? Let's kind of go through that, okay? How did y'all meet? And just take your time, okay? We're just here to try and get this all figured out, okay?
I think it was at a quinceañera.
How old were y'all?
I think I was like 14 and she was like 12, I think. I think I was like a year old.
Did y'all meet here in Lubbock?
No, she's from Ralphville and I'm from Meadow. We're friends at first. And then we kind of got together like a year later after we would see each other around like at quinceañeras and parties. stuff like that. And I've known her for a long time. I can't remember. I know it was at 18. I don't remember.
Okay. So y'all dated and through school?
Yeah. Well, I'm not too sure. I think I was maybe 17. I think when we started dating. I think we were friends for a few years. For about 3 years. 2 or 3 years.
When did y'all start living together? Or did y'all get married? Were y'all ever married? No.
I think we were 19 or 18. She was living with her mom because I had went to jail. I think when I was 17, she was pregnant with my daughter. I went to jail because my brother had got raided, and I happened to be there at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I spent in jail for 4 months. And I got out when I was like in January, around when I turned 18, like on February 16th or 6th. And she was. I had my daughter in May, February, so she was about 6 months. She was 6 months with my daughter. She was 6 months with my daughter, and then I got out, I had to get my license, and I had to hurry up and get a job, and they took my truck away, and the truck that it got impounded. And they gave it back, so I went right away and started working.
Were y'all living in Lubbock, or were y'all living in Meadow?
We didn't start living in Lubbock till, I don't know, I think it was 2005, I think we started living in Lubbock. I'm not too sure. It's been some history.
David is trying his best to look devastated, but the detectives aren't buying it. Surprisingly enough, this isn't his first time in an interrogation room either. During the conversation, he casually mentions that he and his brother have been in jail before on illegal drug charges. A small detail, but one that hints at a deeper, darker past. The deeper they press, the more his carefully buried past begins to unravel.
Where did your mom live at that time?
Same place she lives at right now.
And where's that at?
South Loop 289, apartment B, 207. She's still living there.
Where are your children today?
They're with her.
South Loop apartment what?
207. They wanted to stay. Always want to stay with her. So. Because we were supposed to go to Dallas, I was going to take them to the zoo. And
this weekend?
Yeah, and then my daughter calls me all of a sudden. She has a baseball game. I don't know if it was a baseball game or something. I don't know if we still might go though. And I decided not to go because I didn't want to miss it. It was a scrimmage, I think, for her. Yeah, we ended up going. I had my stuff packed in the car, and I already had their clothes packed. And I was like, I'll pick you up in the morning.
To go to the zoo?
Yeah, I was going to take me to the zoo again. I think me and Jennifer went when we were together.
So, when you said you lived with your mom, and y'all lived with your mom for about a year there at apartment 207, then where'd y'all move from?
The house that she was in, we were trying to sell.
Do you remember the address?
5011 44th Street.
After opening up about his family, David reveals that his relationship with Jennifer was a constant struggle. Over 12 years, he and Jennifer separated multiple times, trapped in a cycle of breakups and reconciliations. It was a pattern of toxicity. Detectives are closing in towards unmasking his facade. It's just a matter of time before they find out if this toxicity led him to commit this unthinkable act of violence.
And you're talking about having your children this weekend. Kind of describe what happened in y'all's relationship. Do you have legal custody? Who has
I have
legal
joint custody.
You have joint custody?
And she had mandatory or whatever. I left her. I left her in August. Into August. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with my job. And I was always miserable.
So you ended the relationship?
Second time, after we tried a second time.
So the first time was in August. When was the second time? Or what?
This was the second time in August, the last time. I can't even remember. We never really split up like this. Out of the 12 years, we've only split up twice like this. And I think it was only for 3 months. And we got back together.
So y'all mainly split up because you weren't happy with your job and just this.
I was miserable. Coming home, I was working like 16-hour shifts. So I was miserable with myself. Working too much. That's all I did. I never got to see my kids much because, you know, it was like 5:20 in the morning all the way to like 9 at night.
Where were you working at then?
Also working for Loomis Armored as a truck guard.
David paints himself as the guilty ex, overworked, broke, and emotionally unavailable. He blames himself for the breakup, saying Jennifer deserved more. He does not shy away from painting himself as the victim in his own life and tries to gain sympathy for himself. But his remorse felt rehearsed, more performance than regret. What comes next isn't about long love lost. It's about control, obsession, and a darkness that never left him. And when detectives finally peel back the layers, the truth about David and Jennifer's relationship is as disturbing as it is undeniable, shattering the narrative he's so carefully built.
So y'all, what was the arrangements for?
Well, I had to take her to court because she was upset. She was trying to get me for 2 years back pay. All the restrictions were like, I had so many restrictions, and I was like, no, those are my kids.
What were the restrictions?
Man, she would be able to move anywhere she wanted to. Certain days that you can go to. I think it was only weekend, every other weekend, and Wednesday maybe. I don't know. It wasn't that much.
So that was what was first decided, or that's what the
that child support office did me. They did me wrong. I was like, no, I want my kids. Shoot.
When was this? Was this in August, or was it here recently?
No, it was. We're doing good, and I don't know what happened to her. She got upset, and you know, I was helping her about my kids' school clothes, shoes, whatever they needed, I'd buy it. You know, I was working in the oil field at that time. I guess she wanted more money, and I was like, well, dang, you know. And I guess she wanted more, so she decided to take me to give me on child support. And I told him, I was like, no, I want joint custody of my kids. So I had to get a lawyer, and then he's like, the only way you're going to get joint custody is you go down to a 40-hour job, you know, from 8 to 5. I can get you that joint custody. Other than that, you in the whole field, so you won't get it. You'll get whatever they give you, and that's it. And I'll take away all that back pay because I've been with her for years. I mean, we've only split up like twice out of the 12 years.
So did you go through with an attorney and get a 40-hour?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm renting a car, and I'm able to pick them up after school. I've never had that chance to do it. Never had that chance to drop them off at school or pick them up. I've never had that chance.
When was all that paperwork taken care of with your attorney? Has it been
No. It was November. It was in November.
November of 2014? Or?
Yeah, November 2014.
Because y'all had broken up in August.
Yeah. We're doing good. I think she wanted more money.
David didn't just try to paint Jennifer as greedy. He pushed a narrative accusing her of chasing money after their split. But in doing so, he exposed something far more sinister, a chilling red flag that was about to reveal his true nature.
Describe y'all's relationship when it was good. Whenever y'all, did y'all ever, did the police ever have to come to your house? Was there ever any police reports filed in Brownfield or Meadow or anywhere where y'all lived? Or here in Lubbock?
Never. I've never heard her. I've never hit her. I've cheated on her a lot when I was younger. I hurt her real bad doing that. But I stopped like when I was 26. I was 25, 26. I started getting older and I was like, man, I can't be doing this to her.
Y'all never argued, never had any...
we'd argue here and there, but it would never be physical. I'll never hit her. Never hit her, ever.
Did y'all ever have to call the police to y'all's house?
Mm-mm. The only time she had called them is when we were split up and I was trying to get my stuff and she wasn't letting me get my stuff, and I got upset and I broke my TV because she didn't want to give me my TV. He was like, well, you can have it. And I'm like, but other than that, he let us go. I'm like, I'm just here to get my stuff. I still got stuff over there. I still got tools. I still got painting stuff. I still got my car out there. My car in the back.
David insists their breakup is filled with tension and unresolved anger, painting a picture of a relationship ending in turmoil. But if resentment is what fueled their separation, it's important for the detective to find out the credibility of his claims of moving on. Detectives are skeptical of his story, digging deeper, and when they focus on more detail-oriented questions, they find another crack in his narrative.
Did you go anywhere after you got home and the time that we knocked on the door?
No.
From the time you got home from eating at your mom's?
I think I might have threw a cruise, but here and there, but I don't think from there I was just too tired.
When you say through a cruise, what do you mean by
just
that?
right around. Just.
Do you remember where you went?
Just around town. I was going I was actually going to go to my friend's because he wanted me to go out. I was like, nah, I feel like crap.
Did you talk to him before you go to his house?
Yeah, because I told him I'm going to go to Dallas, and he's like, man, I'm going to go too.
What's his name?
Jose.
What's his last name?
Nieto.
I'm sorry?
Nieto.
Nieto. So what time did you talk to him?
I know I talked to him when I was at my mom's too, around 8. Because I told him I helped him the other day move some stuff. And so I can put my car that's in the back of my yard, I can move it there. He's a real good friend. And we're talking back and forth. I want to go to Dallas. He's like, oh, I want to go. And I'm just going to be my kids. I want to go out. He said, we'll go. And he decided not to go. And that's when I was like, I'm not going. I was like, just screw it. I called him. He wasn't going to go either, so I was like, I guess his wife didn't know.
So about what time did you get in your car to cruise around?
I don't know, 11. And then I came home.
How long were you out?
Only for like 30 minutes, I think. I think Ruben, when I got home, Ruben was like knocked out. He had all the lights off.
In his room? Was his door closed or?
Yeah, he was at the closed.
Did you go anywhere else? What area were you riding around in?
Where did I go to? I think I went on the loop.
Which loop? What part of the loop?
On the south loop.
South loop?
Then I went down, I think I went down Slide, or no, Slide. Quaker.
Where were you going?
Just riding around. That usually kind of helps me. Kind of just, I've been stressing. And I've been able to pay my bills, been able to pay Ruben. And I know I haven't been able to pay my months. So it's kind of...
Who were you talking to when you're riding around?
Mandy.
Mandy?
Yeah.
So you're still talking to Mandy during this time?
We're still back and forth. We're still back and forth. Then I went back home.
But you don't remember how long you were out for 30 minutes? You don't remember where? Did you go by anybody's house?
Mm-hmm. Just to close.
Because you started mentioning that Jose Nieto. That what is he?
Yeah, he lives on I didn't go over there. He was eating when I called him. Because I was gonna go to his house, and he's like, "No, I'm not even there yet." So he was eating. So I was like, "Man, screw it." I went back home, and that's when we were talking. He's like, "Well, come later on." I was just too tired.
You didn't leave the house after this 11:30?
No, because I was just in bed and I was feeling sick. I was taking sick again.
So are you still after 11:30? When do you start talking to the lady that's here? Have you already started talking?
She had texted me around 2.
2 in the morning?
I think. She texted me at 2. She's like, "I'm in my feelings" or something. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." She was like, "You ain't the only one." And we're texting back and forth. I was like, "Man, I'm tired." I was like, "I'm just going to go to bed." I haven't been able to get sleep.
Then she shows up about 3:30.
David sits across from detectives, composed, calculated, offering a version of events that feels curated, like a man trying to steer the story rather than tell it. He talks of financial stress and clouded judgment, but there's no real emotion behind his words. All that it comes off as is an attempt to blur the line between victim and perpetrator. But detectives know better. Through a thorough investigation, they're already aware that David has a long history of obsessive behavior toward Jennifer Cruz, a refusal to let go, and growing jealousy toward her life with Albert Martinez. On the day of the murder, he wasn't overwhelmed. He'd been plotting for this crime long back, surveying her house, owning a firearm, and issuing false threats long before acting on this plan. His actions weren't that of a victim, but of a man unable to get over his past relationship.
Making $200 a week and stuff. I had to go donate blood, and it's hard to pay my bills and try to feed my kids. I can't even buy them clothes, or I can't even buy myself clothes.
You think that's fair?
I don't know. Me, I'm the type of man that if I can't afford it, I'm gonna go get it. That's why I started that mobile wash.
That's what I was gonna ask you. So you wash cars as a side job?
Yeah.
You get cash?
Yeah, just cash. My son, my kids help me. They help me, and I pay them, and whatever I make, I have so much, I'm supposed to be paying room $400 a month.
When was the last time you spoke to Jennifer Cruz?
I think it was Thursday.
Did you talk to her face to face, or did you talk to her on the phone?
Yeah. She was saying something about her new boyfriend. I guess he got out of prison or what. He's been threatening me. And I told her, you need to tell him to stop already, man. I was like, he messaged me saying that I requested his mom on Facebook. I'm like, I don't even know your mom. I don't care. It was like, me and Jennifer have been split up already since August, so I don't know how long that is. And that's good for y'all. Yeah, we might have had some words. He threatened me with the gun, and I'm like, well, I got guns too, but I was trying to scare him.
He threatened who with a gun?
He did.
He threatened you?
Yeah.
How did he threaten you? Was it on face-to-face?
No, Messenger. And
through Facebook?
yeah, through Facebook. I told him I got a gun too, and I just gave him a little picture of my old gun when I had one of my old pictures.
Of the 40?
Yeah, the 40. And I wasn't gonna do anything. I was like, man, just leave me alone already, man. And then he texted me the next day. Why are you requesting my mom? I was like, I don't know.
So he actually sent you a text message?
No, Facebook.
Facebook?
And that's when I called Jennifer and I was like, hey, what's going on here? I was like, what are y'all doing? I was like, what is his problem? I mean, come on. I don't know the guy. Yeah, I know he's from Brownfield.
Do you know his name?
Bo, I think, Martinez. I don't know his real name. And all I know, he was a drug dealer, I guess, a big-time drug dealer. And
How long have they been together?
it's crazy because me and Jennifer were having relations, I guess, you'd say, about a month ago. She would come to my house, or I'll go to her house, and we'll do what we do. So I didn't see that coming. I thought she was talking to someone else from Brownfield. So I was like, do what you.
What do you mean you didn't see it coming? Like what did you not see coming?
That new guy, I didn't. Because she was talking to another guy. His name was Sergio. From Brownfield also. And I was like, well, I thought they were together. I thought it was her boyfriend. But I don't know what's the deal. I guess she was trying to be a playboy, I guess. I don't know what she was trying to do. And then he pops up and okay. I didn't know him too. I didn't notice him until like a week ago. Maybe. About a week.
Do you know what he drives or?
I think he drives a Mercedes around him.
With mounting evidence, detectives focus on the tense dynamic between David and Jennifer's new boyfriend, Albert Bo Martinez. David's story starts to shift as his calm exterior falters. The detectives see through his acts. Rather than answering their questions, David steers the conversation back onto himself, painting a picture of a misunderstood man burdened by heartbreak and financial hardship. This sudden deflection is an attempt to reclaim victimhood and is a trait that those with guilt subconsciously fall back on. These key details expose deeper signs of manipulation and even narcissism. And just like that, the tables are beginning to turn.
And when's the last time that you spoke to her face to face?
I haven't spoken to her all the way at baseball practice. My daughter had baseball practice one day. I seen her, but she didn't talk to me.
Was it this week or?
I think it was last week.
So the last
That's
time.
when I found out that guy she was with. And like when she gets with guys and calls them boyfriend, she won't talk to me. She won't ignore me. And, which is fine because we really.
Because he's not your girlfriend?
Yeah, and I was like, it's all good. I ain't worried about it. Just as long as he doesn't hurt my kids.
So why do you think he started threatening you? You said you started.
I told him. I told him I was like, don't hurt my kids. Just take care of them. Don't hurt them. That's all I ask you to do. And he goes off.
Was he living at that house? Where with Jennifer?
No, but it's only been, I don't know, a few days. I didn't know him. I didn't see that. I just seen like a profile pic of her, and then I'm like, okay. I thought she was actually with another guy. So I'm like, and I messaged her, I was like, man, just tell them the dang kids. And yeah, I might have said something kind of rude, but not threatening. Then that's when he threatens me with the Anina, I guess they call it nowadays.
What is that?
Anina, 9.
Okay.
So I was like, well, you didn't have to go all there, man, but I got guns too, but I was like, trying to scare them off.
Did you ever talk to him face to face?
I've never seen him. Nothing. I really don't know him. I know he's from Bromfield. And my brother told me about him. He said, yeah, he owes a lot of people money. I guess he snitched out a lot of people. And he's like, he was saying all kinds of stuff. I was like, man, I hope nothing happens to my kids, because I know how that is when you're a drug dealer and you snitch people out. Shoot, man, they'll put a hit on you or whatever, And my brother used to be a drug dealer. I told Jen, I was like, I didn't get a chance to tell her any of that, because my brother had told me at the last minute. But I didn't want to argue with her. I was like, as long as don't hurt the kids, man. Don't get them away from all that. Whatever he does, and y'all do, don't do it with my kids.
When's the last time you've been to the house there on 44th Street?
I went there Thursday. Remember when I was telling you I had
You
to
looked
go
at the car?
Yeah, because she had, I don't know if she texted me or called me. I think she called me. She's like, well, oh man, I don't know what she told me. She told me something else, and she's like, well, you need to come get your car, because they're going to give me a fine if you don't move it. And I think because the tarp was already blown off because of the wind and the rain. I was like, okay, I'll try to get it out by this weekend. That's what I told her. And we're going back and forth. We're just talking crap to each other. I'm like, man, just stop already. I'll go get my car. And I apologized to her. I was like, I'm sorry, whatever I said. I'm sorry. And I'll just leave it like that. I'll go get my car. And I went right when I got my kids from school. I think it was Thursday when I went, yeah. Because I went there, I grabbed I moved my hood to my car, and I grabbed my, I had a, what did I have? What is that thing called?
Jack?
The jack. I picked up the jack. That's all I could get, because it wouldn't fit in the car. So I went through the back. I just went through the back gate, and man, it was all jacked up. And I kind of just moved it.
The gate was jacked up?
Yeah.
What did it look like?
It was in bad shape. I put it up. And we used to have a pit bull, and it tore it all the bottom. I made it bigger when I was staying there so I can move my cars in there, because I wanted to build a shop. It kind of felt like went this way, and it was bad shape. So I kind of just had to open it more, because it was a big old tarp that I had to pull out. It was about this wide. So I kind of messed it up a little bit more. But it had a log in front of it too.
So that was the last time you were near the house?
Did you ever go into the house on that day? Did you notice any damage to the house on that day that that was strange to you, or?
Not that. She has an alarm on her.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Does the alarm work? Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
And what kind of an alarm system is it? Is it surveillance?
It's just a basic. You type it in.
Would the
You saw
alarm?
the code?
No, she changed everything.
The alarm go off if you entered the house through a door, through a window?
Yeah. believe so.
What kind of company is it?
ATD.
I'm gonna step
ADT?
ADT.
ADT?
That's
Okay.
Sometimes Jennifer's real forgetful. She would just like, man, she'll leave the windows open, and like the front window, you can go through the front window.
It's unlocked or?
No, it's like it's one of the old school doors. You know, the windows where it slides up and it has like a little lock there. You can go through that damn thing. I was like, you need to fix that. I was like, anybody can come in here. Or y'all asleep. So, I never got that fixed because I couldn't never find the piece to. I really didn't. I should have tried more to try to get that piece, but I never really did. I was too busy trying to paint the house and make it look nice. And I was building a patio deck in the back. And I just, it wasn't even in my head to even think of it.
By now, it was clear that David was trying to paint Jennifer as the real villain, accusing her of betrayal. Detectives listened carefully to his stories, studying his every move. However, they needed more information, especially regarding the alleged threats from Jennifer's boyfriend. With the pressure building, David shifts course yet again, this time claiming Albert had threatened him. But the cracks in these claims are showing. It couldn't be the only force behind David's unthinkable actions. There is indeed some secrets that he needed to hide, but is failing terribly at it.
His name is Bo. Is that correct? And we talked about him for just a little bit. You said he'd actually sent you some messages on Facebook. You guys had messaged back and forth. Would you be able to actually show us that particular, all those messages?
I know
that you guys went through with each other?
The first messages I deleted, and then I was like, man, you know what? I deleted them. Then Thursday, he texted me again. I'm like, this guy. The first message is like, why are you trying to request my mom on Facebook? He's like, if you need to know something about me, you need to come to my face. Stop being a female about it. And that upset me.
Okay. That was Thursday.
And we're going back and forth. And
so when you say you go back and forth, what did he says? Come to my face. What do you tell him? Do you remember? You say, yeah, I'll meet you somewhere, or I don't need to do that, or
I really don't remember what I told him, but he's like, I was talking so much crap.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want Jennifer. I was like, you can have her. And I was disrespecting her.
And when you say disrespecting her, how were you disrespecting her?
Like I don't want her, and this is wrong with her, and this is what's wrong with her about this, and I got something better. I got my girlfriend. I got me something. And it was so much. I was so upset because I'm trying to wash cars, and this guy's over here texting me about something I don't know. I'm like, who's your mother? And he never asked me. He never answered me. And that's when I told you, I called Jen, and she was like, what? So you need to stop requesting his mom. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, who is his mom? I was like, I don't know who his mom is. I was like, why are y'all acting like this? I was like, you can have him. I was like, we've been split up for I don't know how long. I thought you were with someone else. What are you doing? Whose is it? Which one is it? And she just hung up on me.
So was there a feeling during the last month, since you guys have been having some kind of hook, that maybe that you guys could get back together and repair it?
Hey man, there's so much damage there.
You think it was beyond repair?
I hurt her so bad.
Y'all were just having sex and that was about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And shoot.
You said you hurt her real bad. Was that when you left her, or?
Yeah. I left her.
Because she stayed with you when you cheated on her.
Yeah, she did. She would leave like for a week or two and come back. Not months, like these 2.
With all the evidence stacked against him, detectives now turn up the heat. And with that comes the final revelation. One single damning evidence that left David completely exposed.
We started working this case at 3 a.m, okay? And there was a 911 call. And in that 911 call, she says you're at her house. Okay? That needs to be explained by you. That's why I asked you so specifically, when was the last time you've been there? Because in the 911 call, she's calling your name and saying, put the gun down. And it's all recorded. You know, you've been very cooperative with us. But right now is the time that you need to tell the truth. You know, on what happened. And both also dead. You know that. Okay? It wasn't a drug deal. It wasn't anything else. David, you were there. Okay? Now, as to why you were there, that's what you have to explain. I went back and listened to that 911 call. And she's saying, David, put the gun down. David, it's not worth it. I listened to it. It's all recorded. And it's not worth it over the relationship. You don't want me no more. All that's on. It's all recorded. So we know that you were there. Now, David, it's time for you to tell us what really happened. You know, I've been up front with you, you know, from the beginning. I said we need to talk to you about her. What happened, David?
He threatened me.
Okay. And tell me what happened at 3 a.m. when we got that 911 call. Tell me from the beginning to the end what happened. Just in your words. This is your story to tell, you know. Which vehicle were you in when you went over there?
Dodge.
The Dodge. And where was Jennifer when you got there?
In the room.
Which room?
Her room.
Okay. Where was Bo?
There.
And then what happened?
An escalator.
Where did you have the gun? Did you get it? Did you take it with you? Where's the gun right now?
It's by the old CVS. On the lip. In the trees.
And where?
By the trees.
By the trees?
By the trees. Tom Street Place.
Tom Street. Oh, okay, off of Marshall Sharp Freeway. It's that abandoned building right next to Tom Street Place. What side of the building, partner? Is it closest to Marshall Sharp or closest to 34th?
Marshall Sharp.
Finally, David confessed to killing Jennifer and Albert, but the deeper the detectives dig, the more he lets slip. Details so chilling, they recast the entire murder in a far more sinister light.
Appreciate your honesty. I mean, I really do. I mean, I saw it on your face, you know, but describe, you see them in the house, you're inside the room. Did you go in the bedroom? Okay. And then you said it escalated. Tell me what happened in your words.
He came at me.
How did he come at you?
He got up and just came. So, shot.
And what did Jennifer do?
Same thing.
So why'd you go to the house?
I was going to confront him. Why is he threatening me?
How far were you from Bo when you shot him? Do you remember?
Not far. 5 feet away.
Do you remember where he was shot at?
I'm scared.
You were scared? How about Jennifer? Do you know how many times you shot her?
I don't know. got scared.
So after you shot both of them, was there anyone else in the house? Anybody else with you? Does your friend know? Does she know what happened? Did you tell anyone? And a lot of times when this happens, do you remember their words? Any other words that they said to you? Did y'all have any kind of conversation before you got there? Had you called her, called him? Had you texted? Any conversations between you and them? Well, I'm gonna go tell them where to locate the gun, okay? That way no one gets hurt with it. And I'll be right back, okay?
With David laying out every detail of that day, the pieces start falling into place. But the story doesn't end here. Detectives are about to find out whether this double homicide was driven by mere jealousy or if David has darker secrets buried beneath the rug of lies he's so meticulously woven.
What was the last threat he ever made to you? David, do you remember?
Thursday.
Okay. And what was it? What was it that caused you to go into this kind of mode, this defensive mode, that you felt you needed to confront him?
Do you go to the bathroom or anything? Need some water? Want some water?
Did he make a threat against you directly, David? What was it, do you remember?
Said just make sure you don't get hit with my Nina. So you better cowboy up.
You don't get hit with my Nina, you better cowboy up. And what does that mean to you, sir?
Once he sees me, he's going to shoot me.
Okay. You had told us that you had your Glock 40 in that house, and we've gone over that extensively. But we now know that there's a good chance that you had it all the time. Is that correct?
No.
When did you
I've had it for a few months.
Okay. Is that the same weapon that you used? Okay. How did you enter the home? Do you remember?
A window.
A window? Okay. Is that the same window you told me about?
No, there's another window.
Okay. And when you entered the window, how did you open the window to enter the residence?
It just pushed up.
Okay. Did you do anything to try to prevent yourself from leaving a fingerprint or any trace of yourself, or was that a concern at the time?
When it escalated, yeah.
Okay. So your intention on going over there was to what, sir?
Just to scare him.
Okay. Do you have the weapon on your person, on you? Okay. When you entered the home, how far did you have to go before you made contact with Jennifer and Bo?
Far.
Okay. Who made contact first, you or them?
He did.
He did? Okay. Did he come out of the bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there?
Well, I went into the bedroom and he got up real fast and
just happened that quick?
Well,
Were they laying in bed or were they awake?
Yeah, they're laying in bed, I guess.
What was he wearing? Do you remember? Did he have a weapon at the time?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. Did you, as soon as you saw him, did you just go ahead and shoot at him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened when you saw him?
I was telling him, I was like, why you threatening me and this and that.
Did you see when she called 911? Did you tell she was calling 911?
Yeah, but I didn't. She said it wasn't activated. I'm a pretty honest man. I don't like to lie.
On that note, I have to ask you to swear to your statement. Is everything you told me today the truth?
Besides what I lied to you about.
Yes, sir. You understand that if you swear to the statement, that's not true, and we've already confirmed the information that you said wasn't true, the omissions and that. Is everything you told me today the truth? Up to the point that, that we discovered the truth. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to end your statement.
Whether it's a flicker of guilt or the weight of the truth finally catching up to him, one fact remains undeniable. David knew exactly what he was doing. With full awareness, he pulled the trigger, ending the lives of Jennifer Cruz and Albert Martinez. Now that the truth is out on the surface, David has to face the consequences of his well-thought-out actions. In February 2018, David Carrillo finally stood trial for the barbaric murders of Jennifer Cruz and Albert Martinez. The courtroom fell silent as the prosecution laid out the chilling details. The presented and undeniable evidence of his prior threats and calculated moves that led up to that fateful night made it almost impossible to find any sort of leniency. The defense tried to argue his case, but the evidence was too strong to ignore. When the verdict was read, there was no way out. David Carrillo was found guilty of capital murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In today's world, too often, relationships are poisoned by possessiveness and toxic emotions, leading to devastating consequences. So many lives have been lost simply because someone couldn't let go. Share your thoughts. How can we, as a society, do better to prevent tragedies like this? Please share your opinions in the comments section, and for more true crime documentaries, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.